Marius Amalric served as a Marshal of the Black Templars during the era Indomitus. His early service made to his chapter lost to history. What matters is not the origin of this valiant soul, but rather his deeds made in preserving the Imperium during its darkest hour. During Abaddon the Despoiler's 13th Black Crusade, many chapters of the Adeptus Astartes pledged to defend the world of Cadia from the War Master's accursed armies. Already pledged to wage the Cruxis Crusade, Marshal Marius Amalric diverted his crusade fleet to combat the Despoiler's forces and aided the beleaguered Astra Militarum regiments stationed to Cadia's southern line of Casser Crath. Holding the line against the forces of chaos, Amalric's men defended the Martyr's Rampart, armed with righteous zeal and purity of purpose. Sundering Word-bearers, Black Legion Astartes, and other abhorrent Chaos Space Marines with blade and bolter, each fallen Templar only stoked the fury of those that remained. Learning of the Black Legion's redeployment to the fortress city's northern Cregan gates, Amalric ordered his forces to fall back from the Martyr's Rampart and unleash their wrath unto the heart of the traitor advance. Confronted by the traitor Baneblade, Vicanthus, the Black Templars neared close to the precipice of death, yet in the shadows of the battle, the Necron Lord, Trazyn the Infinite, covertly infected its machine spirit with nanomachines in order to reprogram its targeting sensors to combat its allies. Holding Casser Crath, thanks to the aid of the living saint of the Adeptus Sororitas, Celestine, with the defeat of the demon prince, Ercanthos, the pious servants of the Emperor redeployed to defend the Cadian pylons within Cadia's Elysian fields. Aiding the efforts of a fellow son of Rogel Dawn, Captain Tor Garadon of the Imperial Fist's 3rd Company, despite the valor of the inheritors of the Vigilant, the Chosen of Abaddon broke through their lines. The ministrations of Belisarius Cawl repelled the Despoiler from his assault, yet with his return to the vengeful spirit, Abaddon denied the Loyalists victory by hurling a Blackstone fortress, the Will of Eternity, onto the surface of Cadia. Rending the planet in twain by its catastrophic impact, Supreme Commander Lord Castellan Ursicor Creed ordered the total evacuation of the doomed fortress world. Defiant until the bitter end of this venerated world, the Black Templars and their allies of the Order of Our Martyred Lady shepherded the mortal survivors to their evacuation before themselves being the last to depart its devastated surface. Banding together with the survivors of Cadia, including Belisarius Cawl, Saint Celestine, Inquisitor Greyfax, and his own forces, the Celestinian Crusade with the Black Templars in tow ferried the 3 million survivors of Cadia to safety. Sacrificing their last remaining Imperial capital ship, the Iron Revenant, to enable their retreat, the Celestinian Crusade fled to the nearby ice moon of Chlysos, following Saint Celestine's visions of salvation upon the barren planetoid. Rescued from the pursuing Chaos forces by the Eldar Inari, with the activation of a hidden webway gate, the Celestinian Crusade traversed to the Ultramar system. Finding the realm of Ultramar to be besieged by more of Abaddon's forces, exploiting the mayhem wrought from Cadia's destruction, the Black Templars and their allies aided the Ultramarines in staving off the Black Legion's advance. Taken to the capital world of Macragge, the Celestinians gained audience with the Ultramarines chapter master, Marneus Calgar. Despite his own misgivings of the intent of the Eldar Xenos, Amalric beseeched Marneus that their unlikely band of survivors were indeed true servants of the Emperor, and guided by his light, had brought an artifact of great import to their homeworld. Within the fortress of Hera, Belisarius Cawl presented the precious cargo retrieved from the Iron Revenant prior to its sacrifice, the Armor of Fate, a means to revive the Primarch of Ultramar, Rabute Guilliman, who sat immobile within the Temple of Correction. Assuring Calgar that his own Black Templars would cut down Belisarius and the Eldar should they endanger the life of the comatose Primarch, the Ultramarines relented in their suspicion of the Inari and allowed the Archmagos to begin his ministrations. As the Black Legion lay siege to the fortress of Hera, the Black Templars aided the Ultramarines in protecting the shrine of Guilliman until his revival by the ministrations of the Daughter of Shades. though watching every one of his kinsmen of the War of Cadia perish in their defense of the temple, Amalric bore witness to the resurgence of the Avenging Sun. Driving the invaders from Ultramar, under the leadership of a Primarch of the Imperium, the forces of Chaos stood no chance against such a mighty champion of humanity. The news of his resurrection spreading quickly across the galaxy in the wake of the Siege of Hera. Meeting with delegations of the Dark Angels, White Scars, Space Wolves and Raven Guard, reinforcements of the Black Templars likewise journeyed to Macragge and met with their venerated Marshal. Observing the fervent light of the Emperor within the glint of his eyes, the Black Templars' chaplains declared Amalric touched by the hand of the Emperor and brought him to the strike cruiser, Scourge of Heretics. Bequeathed with the Black Sword and armor of faith, Marius Amalric assumed the mantle of the Emperor's champion before pledging to aid the Avenging Sun in his quest to reach the Throne World. Traversing to the edge of the Maelstrom Warp Rift, the Terran Crusade attempted to find a means to maneuver through the Great Rift. Confronted by the Lord of Change, Kairos Fateweaver, the champion of Tzeentch succeeded in capturing the Ultramarines' Primarch with aid from the Red Corsairs' traitor warband. Subdued by a mob of traitors within the Macragge's Honors Enginarium, Amalric and the survivors of the battle were taken to the Blackstone Fortress, gifted by the War Master to the Red Corsairs' leader, Huron Blackheart. Confined within psychic spell-shielded cells, though hope of escape for the Terran Crusade proved unlikely, the actions of the enigmatic fallen angel, Cypher, and Eldar Harlequin, Silandri Veilwalker, allowed for their escape. Retrieving their weapons from the traitor armory, the Terran Crusade fought their way into the lower tunnels of the Blackstone Fortress. Demons of the Blood God and Changer of Ways, supported by the Red Corsairs, attempted to thwart their escape, gunfire and violence erupting as the Avenging Sun and his band of Templars, Grey Knights, Skitarii, and myriad Gene-Sons fought his way to the heart of the fortress. As the battle erupted into new heights of slaughter, elements of the mysterious Legion of the Damned joined the fray as the Harlequins opened a webway portal in the heart of the fortress. Demon engines and bloodletters spewed from tears in the Immaterium as a new champion of Chaos entered the fray, Skarbrand, the Exiled One. Understanding the threat posed by this malevolent champion of the Blood God, Marius Amalric ordered his men to combat the Demon Prince, his fate as the Emperor's champion clearly chosen for this very moment. Carving a swathe through the Cornate demons, Amalric hurled himself at Skarbrand, the black sword clashing with its own twin axes. Driving his blade deep into the Bloodthirster's breast, this deadly strike would be Amalric's defiant last act before being struck down by the greater demon. Firing a volley of bolter rounds from the Hand of Dominion at the wound inflicted by Amalric, the Exiled One fell by the hands of the Avenging Sun as the venerable black sword shattered from the impact. Allowing for the escape of the Terran Crusade, Marius Amalric's sacrifice ensured the survival of the Imperium, with the Lord of Ultramar's reunion with the Emperor and rejuvenation of their waning empire. His soul resting easy by the side of the Master of Mankind, knowing his duty as a son of Rogel Dawn shall be heralded for eternity within the halls of the Black Templars.